All right.
Oh, the hook coming again.
You crazy kids, what's up, everybody?
Woo!
Geektastic Cypher here on franklinarmstrong.com. If you guys were already tuned in on the franklinarmstrong.com. Oh, shit. There's already 3-4 people listening on the audio stream only? Okay.
Hello, people. Hello, people.
So those people heard a lot of what we were saying. Hopefully that's okay. I don't think we said anything inappropriate. The pre-show...
We said all sorts of things inappropriate.
Yeah, all the time.
I flashed the camera several times.
It's just funny because the pre-show where like people get to listen, I never really think about the fact that like, oh, people are listening to the pre-show. Like we just kind of shoot the shit talking, and then next thing you know, it's just like, oh, remember when they were talking about home boy? I don't know. Ignore me. Oh, look what I got, guys, to cheer myself up in these wild times.
What'd you get?
Self-stirring mug.
A self-stirring?
Yeah, you just press the button and it... can you guys hear it?
I don't know. Yeah, I hear it. It's like a little...
Little whirlpool of awesomeness.
Got myself a Yellow Ranger.
Oh, nice.
Not to cheer me up, just,
Oh, for me, it's 100% to cheer myself up. We are in the darkest fucking timeline, and I needed
Darkest?
I mean, I thought it was bad when we remember when people were joking like, what could happen next? Well, they could kill another black dude, and black people will start burning the world to the ground because we're tired of that shit.
Don't let someone hear you. Next thing you know, you got fucking zombies and shit. I don't want to deal with that.
But you know what the sad part is? Zombies. I would take zombies over white supremacists because zombies don't give a fuck what color you are. They'll just kill everybody. That's how fucked up it is. That's how fucked up it is that I would prefer zombies. Because I'm just like, well, these motherfuckers don't care if I'm black. Like they're equal opportunity brain eaters. And that's
sorry. Let me double down.
Equal opportunity brain eaters.
Let me double down. Replace zombies with xenomorph aliens from Cameron. Alien 2 xenomorph, not 3.
What the fuck? I don't
want to see that.
I don't even know what's happening.
That's extinction, bro. That's not. Zombies, there's a chance. That sounds like extinction. That last one.
Exactly. I don't want that. I can't fight like that.
Okay, I gotta make sure that I follow the comments this week, because last week people were like in the comments and I didn't see any of those pop up, and I felt mad bad afterwards.
Jay Grizz, where you at?
Yeah, shout outs to Jay Grizz. I see Devin already wrote what's up. We see Lee J saying what's up. So what's up, everybody? Yeah, guys, if you guys have never heard the show before, because I know a few people told me they were going to tune in, that like a few friends who were just like, oh, I haven't listened to your show yet. Welcome. This is Geektastic Cypher. It's a weekly geek podcast with myself, Skinny, Dave, and Tobi, who's not here. We also have a silent member, Jawz D, who is on leave, lent away to a secret organization.
Yeah, they won't give him back, huh?
I mean,
they won't give him back.
he did so well on the first 2 missions. I expected they were going to keep him for a while, but
nope.
You know, that shit's a little crazy. It's a little crazy.
Okay.
But yeah, we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of geek things. We're probably going to keep it a little lighter. When I was thinking about whether or not we should do the show this week, it was like Tuesday when everyone was doing the blackout thing. And I remember thinking like, man, I don't know if I want to do the show. I kind of feel weird. And people were just like, oh, you know, there shouldn't be any media whatsoever, blah, blah. And then I found the post from the girl, the 2 women, I shouldn't say girl, the 2 women who worked at, hey, shout outs to my friend Jenny Rich, who's watching. The 2 women who work at Atlantic, or one of them formerly worked at Atlantic and the other one still works at Atlantic, who were just like, oh, the music industry should, you know, the show must pause. Essentially was the hashtag that they were trying to push forward, in which the music industry was going to take a knee for a day as just a way to show respect, and, you know, also just a reference to the fact that a lot of music has been made off the backs of black culture and black people. So I was just like, oh, okay. I mean, that's cool. And then those guys were just like, yeah, they didn't want people to stop posting, and that's where the miscommunication happened, unfortunately, because a lot of people understood that as like it's a blackout. We should not be posting anything. And then yeah, see that was a miscommunication. And crazy enough, dude, you know what it is? I really think that it was like white supremacist or like racist or some agency that was just like trying to take advantage. Like they saw an angle that they could twist what was being done, because there was like fake accounts popping up that said they were linked to the original thing, telling people that the blackout was supposed to be no post, no nothing, no, and like, no YouTube, no, everything is on pause. And that's not at all what those two original people had planned. They really just wanted people to take a moment and just reflect. And the idea was to continue to promote black businesses and to continue to promote the exchange of ideas in the community on how we can work together better, informing people, even helping people recognize microaggressions. And, even if you yourself might be doing microaggressions and not realize you're doing those to your friends of color, black people, brown people, South Asian, any community. And it was supposed to be a day of reflection and conversation. And then it turned into this unfortunate mess where, people were like, the black squares were great. I will say this. If you posted a black square and you posted it because you wanted to show solidarity with people with this situation, that's wonderful. And I think that's very important. And I think it's great that people are doing that. If you were one of the people who didn't post a square like me, I didn't post anything, because I was just like, well, now that I know what they were trying to do, I don't really feel the need to post a black square. That's also fine. And but it's just unfortunate that it ended up pushing down all the posts that were related to the Black Lives Matter movement, because people used the hashtag and it just like blacked out. And I think that's what like I was saying, that other organization had been posting, like post a square and blah, blah, blah. I think that might have been their intention. Which is unfortunate.
But wasn't there also like a message, I think, from those girls? Like, I don't know if it was those girls or it was another association, but someone mentioned like, please stop putting the hashtag.
Oh, that was everybody. As soon as people realized that it was pushed, I'll tell you this: when I woke up in the morning and I saw the first like slew of black squares and everyone had Black Lives Matters, I clicked on the hashtag, and it was all black, and there was 6.4 million posts. Yeah. If you click on it now, it's over 17 million. So in one day, 10 million posts got added, and most of those were just black squares. Yeah. So it's not like you could like slightly scroll down to kind of get back to the Black Lives Matters like information, stories and stuff like that. There are 10 million more posts that had popped up, so you won't be able to get back to that stuff easily. Yeah, and that's the part that kind of sucks.
The thing is, you gotta hope that maybe for those who did the original post and might have the original content, that they realize that and maybe they'll repost that original content to make sure that there,
that's a good idea.
And if someone by chance who's listening has that, please do that. Like, that'd be really good.
That is a very good idea. That's a good point. Yeah, it'd be nice if people did that, because there's no shame in it. Repost 2-3 times if you want, as long as you're getting the message out. I think that's great, and that's a really good idea, Dave. And this is why you get ally points. It's a new program to all our white friends out there. We started a new program. It's called Ally Points. Yeah, I felt,
in for dance lessons and stuff. Have your token black guy show up at a party for you to, confirm your downness.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, that's, I think, when I asked you guys if you were ready to do the show today, like I was saying, it was one of those moments where I was just like, I don't know if I can do this. But then I think that if anything, it's important that we do continue to do this, and that we continue to have conversations, and we continue to host a show that's predominantly black hosted and that talks about things in the community and the things that we find interesting. And one of the things that we said when we started doing the show, shout outs to Jay Grizz. He wrote, "What's up, y'all?" Yeah. One of the things that when we started doing this was the original idea behind Franklin was the joke that there is always that token black guy who's a nerd into comic books, that has like his friends. And you know, it took me a while, and I think Skinny, you said it too. It took us a while to realize there was others like us. Like,
yeah, man.
Like I didn't know when you and I met. We were both into hip hop, but I didn't know you were like a comic book geek or action figure, and you didn't know that about me. We didn't really talk about it. We talked about that stuff way later, like way later in life. So, you know, it was that joke of like you always, for myself being like black Anglophone in Quebec, and a geek. I always felt like, well, I mean, I hang out with my geek friends because they're the only ones that kind of, and not all of my geek friends were black dudes, so most of them were not black actually. So, and then you just start connecting the dots, and then next thing you know, you have a collective that's like mostly black people who are all like, yeah, we fucks with all these TV shows. Like, you know, have you seen Black Lightning, Black Panther, Stargirl, Swamp Thing, like, and you know, Titans, and then next thing you know, you're just like you're just talking about all of it, and then there's like. My favorite thing is all the secret geeks out there. Like there's one of you that's a DJ in Montreal that you and I talk about geek stuff in a way that I feel like if other people knew, they'd be shocked. Shocked, I tell you. And you never talk to other people about this stuff. At least I've never seen you talk to other people about it. But every time we talk, like I'll never forget one time I was at one of his club nights, and he walks in and he goes and he sets up his DJ equipment, he puts up the thing, and then he walks over just like, yo, you see that new Logan trailer? That shit's gonna be dope. And then he just walked away.
But you're not gonna expose him or nothing?
No, I'm not gonna expose
him. Not going to expose him. What is that?
Do I know him?
You know him. I'll tell you after.
All right, I know who it is.
Yeah. But yeah, so we got a good show, guys. We got a bunch of stuff we want to talk about. Toby's gonna be jumping in at some point later, he said. So hopefully, I'll be able to discuss. Is there anything you guys want to talk about off the top before we go into the view the right thing? Because I feel like we do have a lot.
I got nothing.
I have a damn did they.
Let's go.
I'm down. Bring it on.
My damn did they is actually linked to something that's in the news that we're supposed to talk about later, but I'll mention it now because I think this stuff is weird. The CW is creating a new character instead of replacing the actress for Kate Kane, instead of replacing Ruby Rose, they're completely creating a new character named Ryan Wilder. Skinny done walked away, y'all. Skinny done walked away. Yo, shout outs to Mark who's tuned in. Shout outs to Danny. Shout outs to Daniel who's tuned in. Jay Grizz again. Yeah, Skinny walked out of the room, y'all. If you guys are listening to this,
I want to walk out. I don't know if I'm not gonna be able to laugh through all
let's
this.
All walk out.
That's the fucking stupidest thing I've ever heard. This show has been tanking since day one. There's been no confidence in this show whatsoever. The only reason why they're probably doing this is because they're like, oh, aesthetically speaking, Rosa from Brooklyn Nine-Nine doesn't look like Kate Kane, so let's kill that bitch and make it so that we can hire her. Like, I swear,
you really think she's getting? You really think she's getting the tap? You think Stephanie Beatrice?
Like, why else would you do this?
I know that she said she wants to play the role, and I mean, if I'm the people at CW and I'm looking for someone to play the role, and someone like Stephanie Beatrice says she wants to play it, I'm doubling down. I'm like, yeah, yo, this girl wants to play on our show? Yes, give her the role today, right now. Sorry, Skinny.
That man's not just giving away the mantle like that. Like, who are you to do that?
That's true.
Look, if you didn't know Batman, the cow is a slut. It's a whore of a garment, apparently. Jesus. It just goes around.
At least make her Batgirl.
You know what would have been nice if they had introduced a Batgirl that they could move up, but instead, yeah.
Who was the silent one with the face mask?
The what?
The full silent Batgirl who was a mute.
Oh, Cassandra Cain, the one they ruined by putting her in the Birds of Prey movie and making her a snotty kid. Who's a thief, instead of keeping her true to her character in the comic book where she's a mute ninja assassin.
But this is CW.
Yeah, true.
She doesn't exist
I don't want to go on this tangent long, but technically if Birds of Prey and Harley Quinn had a number 2, maybe that they were going to show you her transformation over time. Yeah. And that's why she was like that in the first.
But why would she become a mute? Like, the story in the comic book is that she grows up like in hard situations. That's why as an adult she has a really hard time adjusting, and one of her main skills is the ability to read body language, because she had to learn to adapt to read body language because of the fear from getting abused. So she learned like she doesn't speak, she can just read body language. That's one of the reasons Batman liked her, because she's such a good fighter, because she could tell movements, like micro movements, before you adjusted. She could tell what you were going to do, and Batman loved that shit. I'm sure Batman wished he was trained that well. So,
That's a good point.
you know, I don't know. Anyone in anyone in the comments got a thought on this about completely getting rid of one of the like Kate Kane is the OG Batwoman athlete. Her name was Kathy Kane originally, but she's like, are they gonna kill? I guess they're probably gonna have to kill her off. I don't think she's just gonna.
Yeah, sure. She's gonna drive somewhere. The bat bike will explode or something.
You know what though? I will give you one thing that could be cool: the fact that you get to redesign what Batwoman looks like, so you can get rid of the stupid red wig.
Yeah, but
you guys like the red wig?
I mean, yeah,
I like it in the cartoons. I don't think they did it well in the show.
Oh God, no.
No, they didn't.
No,
they didn't do anything well in that show.
Yeah.
Exactly. No. They do a really good job of annoying you and making you listen to the exact same story like 5 times.
And you watch Gotham.
Damn. Oh,
dude, Gotham is like Lord of the Rings better compared to this. Like what? Like Gotham is Dark Knight to this show.
God damn, that is all right. That is a bold statement, sir. That is a bold ass statement.
You own that one, jeez. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think the CW does very interesting things at times. You know what though? I'm not even gonna blame only the CW. Greg Berlanti has too much power. That's one of the things. Greg Berlanti has his finger in too many pots, and I feel like and don't get me. This isn't only an attack on him. Same thing with Lorne Michaels that I've always said. Lorne Michaels is the executive producer for Saturday Night Live, The Tonight Show, and Seth Meyers' show, Late Night with Seth Meyers on NBC. That man runs 6 out of 7 nights on one network. That to me, people like that's too much power. You should not be controlling that much content. Dick Wolf, you shouldn't have. Like at any given time, I don't think one producer should have 7 shows, because
Dick Wolf.
But the reason I say that is because, and it's the same way that when I was at the radio station, I was a program director, and I started noticing one of my predecessors was very much into into rock and metal. So, and I noticed all the shows that got on the station were rock and metal. And then when I took over, at first, I was like, oh, you know what? I really want to focus on hip hop and jazz. And then at one point I noticed we had a lot of hip hop and jazz. We didn't have as much of the other stuff. And I sat back and I thought to myself, I need to make sure I'm diversifying, because I don't want to be a gatekeeper who's blocking out and limiting other styles of music because of my personal preference. And Greg Berlanti, as a producer on this many shows, you're still, yes, he might have different showrunners, but you're still kind of getting his eye as a producer, as a lead producer and the creator of these shows.
Isn't what Feige's doing that too, though?
Yeah, but those are
those the same thing, because Feige controls an entire universe.
But here's the thing:
Feige does it good.
He does it well, and he's doing it in a movie format, right? Where he's doing there's an arc, there's a full arc over this whole thing. Berlanti is not doing that with those shows. He does one-off specials once a year, but the whole seasons don't plan for just that one special. Nope. You know what I mean?
Oh man, Berlanti.
Yeah, I just think he currently has too much.
You can tell where his heart is, though.
What do you mean?
His heart's in Stargirl.
Oh yeah, that's been okay so far. I liked it. You liked it. My partner, she did not like it. She thought it was. No. Yeah, she's a little disappointed. She was just like, "Yo, what are they doing?" I was just like, I'm like, it's not that bad. She's like, this is not good. I was like, oh Lord. I was like, uh-oh. she's just like, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. They didn't write this well. She's just like, you don't actually think this is good, right? I was just like, I mean, I like it. She's just like, Brian, for as hard as you are on all these other shows, this is the show that you're approving? And I'm like,
We've never seen Justice Society. Like, they always do Justice League.
I think that's why I like it so much, because I'm a big, like, I have almost half a box, a long box of Justice Society in this closet. I really like the Justice.
Really?
Yeah, I really like the Justice Society, because the Justice Society of America is a team that, when the Justice League comes in and you have Superman, Wonder Woman, you know, Green Lantern, like Hal Jordan's Green Lantern, Batman, all those guys, like, oh yeah, you have the OP team. And then you have these bunch of weirdos from the 50s and 60s that ain't doing shit. A dude named Wildcat. What's Wildcat's power? I know how to fight. Okay, Wildcat. Good for you, buddy. Go get your ass kicked by Thanos looking motherfuckers over there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, sorry, dark side before the nerds get mad.
Like, keep telling you, like, the Injustice Society killed all of the Justice Society. And you're like, wait a minute, hold on. So how'd you all kill the Flash, Hawkman, Hawk Girl, Dr. Fate? It's like, wait a minute. You're telling me Icicle did that?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, right? That's one thing I'm
I
not
agree.
down with.
Yeah, I definitely want to see, because, you know, in
I just, like, some of the things that they say are not, it's a little imbalanced.
Because in Marvel,
and a little predictable. Like, I knew right away that what's his name was gonna have like a brain aneurysm, or they were gonna do something like that, because it was already over. He knew who she was.
Yeah. I agree.
What are we doing here?
I agree. As soon as he found out who she was, I was just like, okay, they're gonna kill this guy, or he's gonna go mute. He's gonna go mute, or then, like Dave said, I was just like, oh, his power is brain. Something's gonna happen with his brain.
Because vegetate him.
Yeah.
Or they kill each other, of course. They also can do that.
Okay. The part I didn't understand is, why is Grundy in a cage?
I know.
That was weird. But that's what I'm saying. Like, so Justice Society of America is interesting to me. The other thing that I like about Justice Society, if you guys ever read the comic book, I don't remember who did the run right now, but at one point they intersect with the Kingdom Come universe a bit.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was another fun line, because, like, you start getting. And that's the other thing with Justice Society. Justice Society couldn't have Supergirl, so they got Power Girl.
Right.
They couldn't have Green Lantern, so they had at one point they had Alan Scott, who's like the original Green Lantern,
yeah.
the guy who has like an actual lantern, and it wasn't the Oa core and whatnot.
And he was weakness was wood.
Yeah.
Finish with a baseball bat.
Yeah. He can't fight the bats or anything yellow, so you just bring a baseball bat, a wooden baseball bat painted yellow, just to double up the damage. Yeah. But yeah, they had like, and they had like the second generation of their team was like the kids, and the kids had all these weird powers. Like Obsidian was just like black. He was just this black darkness. So, you know,
wasn't Fair Play on there? What's his name, Mr. Terrific?
Yes, at one point. Yeah, exactly.
Was he?
Yeah, he was on the team. But yeah, and yeah,
that's gonna look dope when they do him. Because you know they're gonna do it.
You're talking about in the comic books, in the movies?
No, in the show, they're gonna do Obsidian for sure.
Oh yes, I want to see Obsidian.
Yeah, they're gonna do all the like B-rate motherfuckers that we see on like Justice League Unlimited but never spoke, like freaking Shining Knight and the goddamn the Western dude.
Yes. All those dudes.
Oh,
I want to see.
Okay.
What's his name? Not the Western dude.
Why, you don't like him?
What's his name? I hate that guy.
How do you
hate Shining Knight and the you know?
Yeah.
I know the guy with the red scarf. Screw that guy.
Or ice, or what's it called?
Yes, Fire and Ice.
Fire and Ice, yeah. Okay, I'm down.
Yo, man, I want it. That's what I'm saying. Like, the Justice Society can introduce a lot of cool characters that the Justice League and the movies for Warner Brothers, they want to focus on those characters for bigger, major projects. Meanwhile, you have all these B-listers that you're just like, well, we don't know what to do with these guys. Throw them in this show. Let the CW universe use them and do interesting stories with them. And
maybe we'll get a proper question. Maybe we'll get the question.
Oh my god, if we get an actual question.
Don't even play, bro. Why would you do that?
That'd be so fucking good. That'd be so funny. Nice. We got some comments here. Lee J, what did Lee J write? Lee J wrote, I heard the WWE wrestler Sonya Deville was up for the role of Batwoman. I saw that too, but I saw it from a weird source. So I'll chalk that one up to complete rumor.
Wow, she could actually do it.
Is she an actress though? Any acting chops?
She's not an actress, but like she has enough. Like when you wrestle, right? You're still, when you have the promos and stuff, you're still acting in that sense, right?
Come on. That's not the same.
She has the look, that's
Dude,
for sure.
Oh, okay. If you say she has a look, I'll give you that. But you got to admit, some of these wrestlers, you might be able to do 2 to 3 minutes in the little fake question between matches. But I'm talking about every day for like 3 months, you got to play this role. If
she knows how to act, she would be a good casting. I don't know if she can act. That's the only thing I can't say.
Okay,
but like fair. Based off of like what she has done and what I have seen, I could see that easily.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. Then what did Daniel just burn it down and try again 2 to 3 years? That's fair. Oh wait, he added more to it. I have to click see more. Sometimes you just fuck up and you have to take a step back and wait for people to forget. That's fair. That is fair.
I agree.
They should do that with the X-Men. Actually, they did that with the first half of that plan.
They did that with Spider-Man.
Yes, there you go. I was just gonna say they did it with Spider-Man. They did it with Fantastic Four. They've done it a whole bunch of times. And I agree. For Batwoman, especially what Skinny said months ago, that it's looking like, if anything, a smart move would be for them to shuttle this entire universe and either let DC take over the DC Universe streaming service, let them take over and expand, or just start with new shows and build something different.
You know, it's on Earth too.
You know what's funny? Yeah. Considering that technically she's like from one of the multiverses, right?
Yeah.
And we already established that entire timeline is fucked up.
Yeah. They
could have hypothetically ended this show by it like being absorbed into the CW verse and then erase everything, and then you get then that's how you recast.
Interesting. Okay, so just real quick for those of you who are watching and you may not know what we're talking about, the Batwoman on the series that you're watching now, timeline-wise, doesn't make sense with the CW universe as it is, because when they meet, when she interacts with them in the other season, it's already like a couple. She's already been Batwoman for a while,
right? But
then when the show starts and she has her second crossover. It's only been, what, Dave, a couple months that she's been doing it?
At best.
Yeah. So
does she remember them?
And she remembers them.
Yeah.
So I know what Skinny's saying. Skinny's point is it doesn't make sense that she remembers them, because she shouldn't remember them, because technically she should have never met them, because she's only been doing it for a couple weeks. And the last time she met them, where she's already been Batwoman for a while, should definitely be a separate timeline or a separate universe. That's a whole other thing. But yeah, Dave's point about them trying to fix the timelines by switching things over and blah, blah, blah would make sense. They could do that. They should do that. Especially since the end of the last crossover, they reset everything.
Yeah. So, like, why not just merge them? Like, why not just do some type of blip where they get merged into the Arrow universe, and now Gotham's there, and she could just easily interact with the other guys? Like, it makes sense.
Because she was Arrow universe, really, because technically no one's really in Star City anymore. If the other chick and the other girl are in the future, who is in Star City?
Oh boy.
Well, no, but you still have the Flash running around, you know. Don't hate on it. This season's been not so bad.
Yeah, Flash is coming, girl. And Martian Manhunter. Just delete the whole shit, bro. Just delete.
Lee J's asking, and this is a fair question. Lee J is honestly asking, and I want you guys to give your opinion. Should he watch this Batwoman show?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. Lee J, look at me, Lee J. I've watched like 7 episodes, and it just made me more angry. Some episodes, I actually like fast forwarded things because I knew the dialogue, and when I got to the end of the dialogue, I was like, they've been talking about the same thing for like a minute. Like, it's not worth it.
I love that you did the whole look at me. That's my thing, you bastard. Don't steal my thing. But yeah, he's right. I can't stand the actress playing Batwoman anyway, so good riddance. That's what Jay Grizz wrote in his comments.
What's her name? Ruby Rose or whatever?
Yeah.
I know. She's not an actress.
Yeah, that's one thing you've said, right? You said that you didn't find she was an actress.
Go back to her track record. When she was on Orange is the New Black, that show got bad.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's like,
correlating it. That's amazing.
The worst season.
I love
the worst season of that show. And it's
He's
like
not
17
wrong.
seasons.
I stopped watching after that season.
Thank you,
It's
Mom.
true.
Listen,
It's true. I really did. I really did stop watching
she's
after that season.
bad. She's bad.
Yeah. Damn, I didn't think about it that way, but you're right. As soon as she showed up, I was just like, but it's not her. I mean, I just felt the season wasn't good.
It's her.
Damn. Yeah. I mean, okay, we didn't even go to View the Right Thing yet, because that's what we kind of did by doing such a long CW. But yeah, Toby's gonna write us a jingle, or has already written a jingle. Actually, I think he sent it to us, but he said to only use the first part because he wrote a whole song. It's actually really good, and hopefully one day he'll get to release the whole thing. But for the time being, we won't have the full thing. We'll just have the little jingle, and we'll play that for you guys in the coming future. But to start off, View the Right Thing. Toby's not here yet, and I know him and I both want to talk about Lovebirds on Netflix. So I will start off with my other thing that I had, and this is a weird one. Funny enough, because I was talking about Lorne Michaels, it kind of flows in together. I'm watching on Tobi, the free streaming app. If you guys are looking for something to kind of just watch while you're bored, I'm watching this show called Fridays, and what it is in 1980, ABC did their own version of Saturday Night Live, and it was called Fridays, and it was filmed on the West Coast. It stars Larry David, Michael Richards, and a bunch of other people, and it's like a Saturday Night Live type show. And I've started watching it again because I've actually watched clips of it in the past, because sometimes what I like to do is I like to watch really old shows to see how TV evolved and how the storytelling has changed, especially sketch comedy shows, which is like aimed at trying to be about like social issues at the time. So I was kind of just like, okay, how are these guys talking about some of the crazy shit that was going on? So I've been watching Fridays. There's some weird sketches, guys. There's some really weird shit in that show. Larry David playing... Sorry?
Do tell.
Well, Larry David playing Han Solo in a Star Wars sketch. Because that's the thing, right? You guys, when you picture Larry David, you picture Larry David as he is now. But picture a like 20-year-old Jewish dude with a Jewish fro but balding in the middle.
He actually has hair?
Yeah, well, no, he's balding in the middle still. He just has the hair around the sides. Actually, no. He has hair most of his head. It's.
But is it like one of those ones where it's awkward, where it's like the first half is bald and the back half isn't?
3/4 is like he has a receding hairline. He has a receding hairline. Yeah, I'm not trying to throw shade at the dude, by the way. Like, I'm not out here to insult his hairline.
Hey, the guy's bald. He knows how he got bald.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we all know. So, dead that if that's what you're thinking. But it's just interesting to watch him, mostly because Larry David is not like, you can tell he's not made for in front of the camera, and I mean that in no offense to him, but you can tell even he's just like, why am I in front of this camera right now? Like, I just want to be like, every time he's in a sketch, you're just like, oh, okay. Larry David has always hated being in front of a camera. He does it because he can, but he doesn't want to be here. And then, I'm not a fan of Curb Your Enthusiasm. I know a lot of people tell me to watch it. They say it's great. I personally don't like the show. That's just me. In the few things that I have watched, I think one of the reasons I don't like the show is because, again, I find Homeboy very awkward when he does the show. And so imagine just him being 20-something and being that awkward, playing Han Solo in a sketch where Ronald Reagan is the Emperor Palpatine, and and Darth Vader's mother shows up, and it's someone in a Darth Vader outfit with a wig on. And an apron, and that's Vader's mom. And now, and what's really funny? Watching it now that you know who Vader's mom really is makes it so funny to watch, because you're just like, it's like this weird broken version of the story, but it's just funny because like what if that was like they tricked him into thinking this is his mom and this woman you know what I mean? Like, it's weird. It's weird that I was watching it at 1:00 in the morning, guys. I'm not saying it's the best time to watch because you're half asleep.
It is that right before you want to knock out.
Yeah. I fell asleep during one of the sketches, woke up, realized I thought I was watching the same sketch. No, I was a whole episode ahead.
Oh man.
But they had the same look, so I was just like, wait, what's
Very
happening?
memorable show.
It was funny. Some of the stuff's real funny. Michael Richards has a character where he plays this old, like, rich lady who walks around yelling at people like, darling, oh my God, what are you doing here? It's like, okay, cool, Richards. I don't know what the hell is happening. And then they have their version of like the what's Weekend Update. Theirs is called Friday Edition or Friday Focus or whatever, and it's the same type of thing. But it was a woman who was hosting it. She was funny, so that's about it. If you guys are looking for something like a throwback to like really random late 70s, early 80s references about politics and comedy, and there's a Andy Kaufman episode that turns into a fist fight. Like it's fun. Check it out. Yeah, there's an Andy Kaufman episode that turns into a full-on fist fight, and it's great because when you find out that it was all actually a setup and that everyone was in on it, but you don't know because it was filmed live. So it looks like Andy Kaufman and Michael Richards got into an actual fist fight on stage, and everyone was like flipping out, and like the stage manager jumps on stage and people are like pulling people off of each other. And this is at like, imagine if it's Saturday Night Live. Oh, hey, what's up, Tobi? I don't know if you can hear us yet. Imagine if can
you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So imagine you're watching Saturday Night Live, and in the middle of watching Saturday Night Live, the guest gets up and gets into a fist fight with one of the cast members, and then everyone in the cast jumps on stage and starts pulling people off, and they're throwing stuff, and the chairs are flying, and yo, that shit was hilarious. And then to find out that it was all set up, and that Andy Kaufman and Michael Richards and like two other people set it up and like were in on it, I was like, yo, that's good. That's good comedy right there. Y'all are crazy.
Where can I watch this?
Tubi, the app. Tubi app is free. They have ads. So if you guys are looking for an app for something to binge watch random shows, Tubi has a whole bunch of weird ass old shows that I just didn't even know. I was just like, yo, I've heard of this show in passing when I was a child, but I've never even seen this. And they're all on there. So by all means, enjoy. There's a whole bunch of weird shit. But yeah, Fridays is on there. So check it out. The other thing I want to talk about, funny enough, Tobi also wrote Space Force, which I watched, but Lovebirds. Hey, look at you with the trim beard.
Hey, there
I just saw the preview for that last night.
For Lovebirds?
Yeah, the beard needed to be trimmed.
Yeah.
They watched that after this, actually. Then, yo, we're watching Lovebirds.
I like that. But yeah, Lovebirds, Netflix series that stars Camille Nanjiani and Issa Rae. It just came out.
I was not expecting it to be that kind of comedy, though.
Oh, really? What did you think it was going to be?
Because I don't know. Did you see the trailer before, I guess? Because I didn't watch the trailer. I just kind of saw like the lead up, like the headlines, like this movie's coming out.
Yeah. No, I saw the trailer. I saw the trailer. Yeah, that's why.
You did? Okay. So
yeah,
it caught me by surprise. Because it started out kind of like a drama almost. Remember that Marriage Story?
Yes,
with,
that's
Scarlett Johansson. Yeah, exactly. So it started out like that. So I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like a rom-com.
Yes.
With but on a drama side. But then it turned into this weird amalgamation of like of slapstick. It still feels real because the moments, the situations are the relationship between them is real.
Yeah.
But you want to just tell the story and then I'll get into the part I wanted to get into real quick.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Okay, I won't spoil it. True.
Just give a synopsis of what it's about. Yeah.
Camille Nanjiani and Issa Rae are a couple. They met some time ago. They've been together, and when the relationship first started. So Issa Rae plays Leilani, and Camille plays Gibran. They're in a relationship. They've been together for I think 4 years. By the time you get that cut scene in the movie, things are a little bit awkward. They haven't been the smoothest lately. Camille's character is a filmmaker, and Issa's character is a marketing, director or something, social media marketing. Yeah. I don't think you actually get more detailed other than just they say the title at one point.
Yeah, they mention his job more because he's been working on a documentary for a long time and no one's seen it. It's kind of like the running thing throughout the movie.
Yeah. And then that's it. The story, the film is essentially just about their love, their relationship, but interspliced with a weird adventure because they're living their best lives. Well, not their best lives. They're living a life. Things aren't going well. They're about to break up. And then as they're breaking up, something wild happens. And then the adventure continues from that moment on. And it kind of throws them in a loop where they have to, now that they've broken up, have to try and deal with being pursued by an underground organization and possibly the police.
Yeah, so going back to their relationship in this, you kind of meet them. They just met. They're super in love. They're like two peas in a pod.
Yeah, super
for
cute
lack
and
of a
cheesy.
better phrase. Yeah, but then fast forward 4 years later, they fall out of love. They are breaking up. That's it. So I'm thinking it's gonna be like this, breakup story. They both go their separate ways and come back. The whole rom-com shit. And it turns out to be like this murder mystery. They get embroiled in like this weird cop versus robber thing. I'm not going to give away the plot line, but at the end of the day, they get associated with the murder that happens. I'm not going to give away what happens.
Yeah.
And the whole movie is based on them trying to not have the murder stick to them.
Yeah, not
and also
charged.
trying to solve it because they have everything with them to help them solve it. And how they come across that, again, I'm not going to say why.
My favorite part, though, is the fact that they're trying to solve the case, but they actually don't know how the case comes together. So it's like, that's one of the things that's actually really funny. Having all the pieces to a puzzle, but not having the picture of the puzzle. So you're just like, I mean, I could try and just put these pieces together and hopefully I get a picture, but I have no clue how that's going to work.
Now, here's the thing that makes it work. As much as you're watching it and you're like, why are you doing this instead of? She's black, he's Indian.
Yeah.
They were just the two people seen at the scene of a crime.
Yeah.
So their motive for not going to the cops first is because they're like, oh, we're going to be blamed for this.
Yeah.
Which then brings them onto this whole adventure, which wouldn't have happened otherwise. I just thought it was a good timing in terms of the touching on something like that, but then still finding the funny in it.
Yeah.
So that I would recommend it just for that.
Yeah. It's definitely a fun movie. It definitely has the like we were saying before, the lightness to a situation. It starts a discussion essentially.
Yeah.
That
exactly.
because it is definitely a moment of privilege when you're like, the whole story is just like, we're people of color. We cannot go to the cops if we are potentially involved in a murder. Meanwhile, if you were two white kids, you'd just be like, okay, just call 911. They'll figure it out. That's like, that's the whole joke.
Exactly. And like the people, and actually, this is not giveaway. It's just a funny scene. But the people who discover them at the scene start like recording it and putting it on social media, and then the girl is calling the cops and describing what they look like. He's brown and she's African, so like the whole, it's funny though the way they do it. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I was like, oh, this is perfect.
It was funny because
all the Karens of the world,
when she's on the phone, she's just like, I don't think it's because they're people of color that they may have murdered this person, but it's just that they are people of color and there is a dead body here. And you're like, oh my God, what the hell is happening? Oh, I will give a shout outs to, if you guys are geeks, there's a Court of Owls scene in this, and that's dope.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
I definitely want to watch this movie.
It's pretty. Yeah. Like when I say it's random in the sense of like the scenes they find themselves in, it works. I'm not saying it's off kilter or anything, but it's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can't believe. All right, cool.
I'm so curious.
Yeah, it's really good. And this is probably one of the only times we haven't really spoiled the movie we saw, right?
Yeah, I mean, because it's fun enough. Hey man, Extraction had too much.
He asked, it's okay, but when Dave asked, it goes all down.
Whoa! That's not what it's about. It's because it's more fun to do that to you than it is to Skinny. That's what...
You know what, sir? You're not selling me on the reason.
Guy struggling to the Jordan Doc is all like, hey.
Yeah.
Oh my.
No, we all have our quirks.
Extraction had too many scenes that we wanted to talk about.
It was a far bigger movie.
Yeah.
I would give it away right now if Skinny just blocks his ears. I'd say it.
Oh yeah,
No, no,
there's dude. I want to talk about the Court of Owls scene so bad, but
Yeah.
Please don't. Please, for the love
Okay,
of God.
there you
go. Cool.
I will
That's
watch
fine.
it this weekend. You can talk about it next week. I promise.
That's funny.
Also, you can tell Kumail is like mid-workout, not fully formed. He hasn't reached
it's
his
not his final
yet.
form.
Yeah, but he's definitely like second form Frieza in this movie. You know, he's looking more. You can tell he's more confident.
He's definitely
Watch previous
second
movies before
form
this one.
Frieza.
He's still like that quirky, awkward, but this was like he was smooth with his awkwardness and
That is
smooth with his quirkiness. You know, he was like, I'm a nerd, but I'm sexy. Like he had that he had that feeling, that swag going for him the whole movie.
That is great.
It's pretty hilarious to see.
That is
But that's
great.
what it does for you folks. That's what it does.
That is so funny.
Oh, man.
And then we have Space Force, another Netflix series.
Oh, my God. Did you try to watch this at all?
I've watched the whole season.
Season? It's a show?
It's a show
Yeah.
based on the words of Sir Donald Trump the third. Yeah, she's not the third. He just is the original. I hope he's the only one.
Thank God.
But it was a statement he made a while back saying, I think he misspoke and said that he wanted to build a space force versus like space, I don't know, working with NASA, whatever he intended to say. The way he said space force made it seem like he wanted to create an army and bring them up to space and, you know, have them defend the earth from space or whatever it is. So this show's based off of that statement and they kind of take it and run with it.
Really?
Yeah.
Swing, not a miss,
Oh, okay.
but lots of foul balls along the way.
Foul ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm about 3 episodes in and I see what they're trying to do. But what sucks about something like this to do, first of all, they say POTUS and you know who they're talking about because of the statement that's made, but they're not saying his name.
Yeah, they
Which
never say it.
I don't see why you wouldn't, to be honest. If you're like,
I think they want it to be
directly
timeless. That's why.
they want what?
They want it to be timeless. Yeah.
Like Idiocracy.
Yeah, like you watch the show and it's just like,
Yeah, it's kind of Idiocracy adjacent.
yeah,
Idiocracy, Jason.
I could see that.
in its tone and like the stupidity of the people. They still have their like. It's weird. It's hard to pinpoint how to describe his character. He is still aware, but in his awareness, he has moments of like stupidity. They're trying to figure out a way to save a crew in space. And you're all brainstorming as to like with scientists and NASA and people in the room. And he says, bomb. And everyone's like, what do you mean bomb? He's like, okay, big bomb. And you're like, wait, what? What does a big bomb have to do with saving someone? So it's like moments like that where it's like,
Dude,
I see what they're trying to do, but I don't know if it really hits.
Did you get to the part with the monkey?
That's where I'm talking about.
Okay, because I just want to point out, I laughed at that so hard I had to slap myself because I wasn't breathing. Like I was laughing.
What were you
Dude,
laughing at though?
When the monkey. Oh my God! They get the monkey.
They have a monkey astronaut.
Yeah, they get the monkey. Hey, shout outs to Miriam who just tuned in. Shout outs to William who just tuned in. Yeah, the United States Space Force actually exists. By the way, it's not a joke. It's a 2019. It's a department of the Air Force. It's a space.
It's Donald Trump.
It's a space warfare service branch of the U.S. Armed Forces. It's one of the 8 U.S. United Uniformed Services. Man, I thought that was a joke.
This is Trump we're talking about. It wasn't. So he misspoke. People made fun of him. So he made it real. He made it a real thing. That's what I'm saying. So there's nothing you can do on the show that'll rival what's happening in real life.
I know.
Right?
Okay.
So what I'm saying, it's like.
So for the monkey, so essentially, oh my God, Dave, mute your mic, man. Mute your mic. Please mute your mic.
What you just said. I couldn't even handle it.
That's funny.
So I get that they don't bring the animals back when they send them into space because it's just too expensive to try and bring them back.
Yeah.
But the fact that they had to try and rely on this monkey that they've left in space to die, and then the monkey is essentially going crazy. And at one point, Steve Carell's character is just like, "You do this for us, banana, big banana," and the monkey's just like, "Where banana? I don't see the banana." Like he's doing sign language, and the guy's translating, and then the guy and Steve's like, "What did he say?" He's just like, "Banana. I don't see or smell banana." Dude, I started laughing at that point.
Yo,
and then
it's so, see, we're saying things, it's weird. We're saying it so disjointedly because the whole show has that. Nothing makes sense, but it all makes sense at the same time.
God, dude, what the fuck?
And, by the way, it's created by Greg Daniels, who was one of the co-creators of The American Office.
Yeah.
And Steve Carell obviously was on The Office as well, and he plays a 4-star general, actually newly minted 4-star general.
5-star.
Is it 5-star?
Yeah, he's 5-star because that was the whole thing that he got. He's finally a 5-star general.
No, man, I think it's 4.
Is it really?
Straight up. Yeah,
okay, my bad.
But you can check my facts. Fact check me. You start the show with him being a 3-star, working his way to 4-star. They're pretty much making fun of the American military complex.
Yeah,
like the whole how like the farce in the roles and the people that work in that environment. So it's like a satirical look at that, pretty much. And Steve Carell, he just got this promotion. He's expecting to like get this new role in like Arlington or something. And
well, he thought he was going to take over the Air Force.
Right.
Yeah.
And his wife, played by Lisa Kudrow, is super excited about this. Phoebe from Friends. She's like, yeah, the last guy who had this role had this massive house in Arlington, Texas, blah, blah, blah. So she's obviously that kind of wife in this. And then he goes to the meeting and they're like, and you're going to be in charge of the Space Force. And he's like, wait a second. Space Force? What's the Space Force? And then they get into the Space Force and what it's for. And he's embarrassed to be a part of something so stupid. Like it's something that's apparent, but because of who he is and the character, he's gonna see it through.
Yo, right? There is a real guy, General John W. Raymond, who is the incumbent chief of space operations for the Space Force, and this guy looks like one of the Coneheads. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't mean that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm not trying to be an asshole, y'all. I'm not trying to be an asshole. He looks like one of the Coneheads.
Have you seen the trailers for Space Force, like the ads they put out? Oh my gosh.
I don't think I did.
They have ads for you to join the Space Force.
Oh my God.
And one of the slogans, I think, is your duty may not be on this planet, but what if it's on another planet?
Oh my God.
Something along those lines.
What is happening?
Hold on. I can literally check that right now because Space Force has a website. Oh yeah, here it is. Maybe your purpose on this planet isn't on this planet.
Oh my God. Oh
guys,
God.
So when I say the show can't really outdo what's happening in real life, I don't think we had a need for this show. It sucks. Like I wanted it to be funnier than it was at the end of the day.
The actual logo of the United States Space Force
is like the Star Trek
logo in it. Can they do that?
Yeah, that's what people were saying. The Space Force logo is essentially just the Star Trek logo, but adjusted. And people were just like, "Yo, how did this man teeth the Star Trek logo?"
You can't do that.
It's been done.
That's like them using the Rebel logo from Star Wars.
I would just like to say I'm not trying to throw shade on John W. Raymond. I was not trying to be offensive about the shape of this man's head. I was just taken aback because when I clicked on the picture, I was just like, this man looks like the Coneheads. And I was like, the fact that you are in charge of the Space Force and you look like a space character just seems so right.
Yeah, this whole thing just reeks of like, I don't even know. It just, anyway, the show tries to sort of show you the other side because we obviously don't know what's going on. So it's like, hey, this is what's going on with this farce.
Yeah.
But I think it just misses a lot on the tone. I get what they're trying to do, but I don't know if that was the right execution of it.
Oh, Toby, can I tell you something real quick?
Yeah.
That's going to drive you crazy?
Yeah.
You never find out about Lisa Kudrow's character. You never find out why.
Why she's in...
Yeah, don't say it, but yeah, you never find out.
Come on, wait, what? No, don't do that.
I can't.
Yeah, right. Like
That was my first question, and I had a bunch of answers, but I'm like,
Yeah,
no,
dude,
none of them seem reasonable enough. They're going to say it in the cutscene.
I know.
Nothing.
No, there's one episode where he goes and he's talking with her, and you think they're about to say it, and they still don't say it, and I got so mad. I was like, yo, y'all are playing right now. Just tell us what's going on. I don't know. I don't know.
Nope, I'm looking this up now.
But don't say it because I don't want to ruin it for people.
You're like the master of live fact checking.
Yeah. This man, what was it he watched last week? We were talking and he's just like, yeah, man, I just watched 20 minutes of it. You watched something else last week too.
Like a trailer or something.
No, was it? Tenet.
Yeah.
Oh yes, you watched the trailer. So funny.
Oh, true. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but don't say it though.
It's like a top story. Like all I did was Google her name. Wow, that's cool.
If you guys really
want
to know, go ahead and Google it. But we're not gonna spoil it for you.
That's super.
We'll only spoil it if Dave tells us he doesn't.
Go and Google it now.
I wish they. Yeah, that was like. Anyway.
Yeah, it actually made me. It was like the one thing when the season ended, I was just like, so you guys made me go through this whole season, and y'all ain't gonna tell me why?
I tried. Oh man, I just want to talk about the humor. Like you know when you get what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
And you're like, you take it in. You're like, okay, that's the mind frame I'm gonna be in watching this, and it still doesn't click.
Yeah.
Right. It still doesn't make you laugh like it should. So that's why I'm like, I don't get their. I understand their intent, but I don't get it.
It's definitely not. When people told me that it was something that like Greg Daniels and Steve Carell were working on, and I was just like, oh, cool. Like in my head, I had an idea of what kind of humor it was going to be. Yeah. This was a lot drier, is what I think.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a lot dry. Yeah, John Malkovich is great.
British aren't this dry.
Yeah. Like putting John Malkovich on a show like this is good in the sense that like he's good for dry humor, but because of who else was on it, I really like Lisa Kudrow, Steve Carell, Ben Schwartz, Jimmy O Yang. You know, like when you start putting all these people
playing a toned down John Ralphio.
Yes, yeah, that's what other people have been telling me. They're just like, isn't he just playing Ralphio again? Yeah, that's the thing. You watch it and you're just like, oh, okay. Like I'm expecting. Like roll on the floor humor, and there's moments where I had roll on the floor laughter, but everything else
just mostly confusion.
Yeah, everything else was a little dry. I liked it though.
Chimps, I can't believe you laughed at the chimp scene. My mouth was agape the whole time. I was like,
laugh, homie. I had to slap myself. I wasn't breathing. I'm telling you, when the chimp is in the spacesuit and the chimp says, and he says, "We'll give you a banana," and he goes, "Banana? What banana? I don't smell no banana."
The thing that made me, I'm going to say chuckle, I'll give them a chuckle.
Yeah.
Is at the end of it all when they find out what the dog was. That was the only thing. And I was like, oh, yeah.
I mean. Yo, dude, when they were watching the videos of the dog and the monkey playing catch in space, and I'm like, what is this show doing? Oh,
okay, it sounds like it's funny right now, guys. But once you watch it and see it for yourself,
I
know, I can tell you did. Hey guys, I'm not saying you won't enjoy it just as much as Doc, maybe even more. But I don't know if there's more there to keep you watching out of interest versus like, and you watch things at 1.5, 1.75. Which one was it for this?
Oh, this one because it's on Netflix. I just watched it regular.
Oh, yeah, endorsement.
If a show's on Netflix,
are you recommending this, by the way?
I would tell people to watch it just because if you want to see what Carell's up to, I would say give it a shot. Because again, the cast is solid.
For Carell, in my opinion.
The cast is solid. Don't get me wrong. There are threads that are just so stupid. The Russian guy who's obviously a spy is the most useless character I've ever seen on a show.
But he knows.
Yeah, like it's really bad. Like that character shouldn't have been written in. That's a whole plot that they didn't need. You could get rid of him. You could have had a daughter date the other guy from the beginning, or be pursued by the other guy from the beginning. You have absolutely no reason to introduce this character other than to make jokes about Trump having a relationship with Putin. That's it. It's the
Yuri?
Yeah. But it's the only reason you put that character in is to make the Russian Putin joke with Trump. And then you make it once at the beginning, and then that was it. So I was like, I don't get it.
It feels like a late addition forced in, just kind of like, let's get this one in too, you know?
Yeah, 100%. And it's bad. And then he's like hitting on the daughter, and then at first he's being subtle about trying to like get information because he's obviously trying to get military secrets from Carell's character. So he starts dating the daughter. And then he's being subtle about trying to get the daughter to let him into the house or stuff like that. But the last time you see him, he full on is saying to the daughter, you know, it'd be nice if it's just like your grandmother would have said, you know, your grandmother. What was her last name again? And it's just like, what? Like, why are you like that? Why are you saying that? It's not funny. Like there's no comedy in that moment. It's just him saying something stupid. So.
That's why I said there are a few hits, but a lot more misses to me, and that's a huge one right there. By the way, it's because it's one of the first relationships you're actually like introduced to, and you realize he's aware and not doing anything about it in a funny way. Is just ignoring it.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. I will not recommend it. It's just like try the first episode or two and don't feel guilty for stopping.
That's fair. Yeah.
Oh no.
What else? Dave, you watched Rick and Morty again for some odd reason.
It was actually a good episode.
And
wait, what was a good episode?
He who shall not be named might come up.
That's fine.
Wait,
but it was the return of Beth.
Yeah.
Because remember I think it's season 3.
Yeah.
She's like debating her life or whatever, and she wants to like debate on going and like having adventures or staying on Earth.
Yeah.
And you do find out that there's a clone. There's questions about it, but overall, honestly, it was one of the very few. Well, sorry, I shouldn't say few. It was definitely the better episodes of this season because of the fact that it tied shit together. It was good. So I'm just saying that this episode was a thumbs up. That's all that one was for.
Okay.
On that. Gonna let does anyone else want to say certain things about certain people?
No, I think you should quit while you're ahead. We let you have your stage. Just take it.
I for me the bigger issue, the episode before that, the one with the clay people, where Rick and the kids kill God. I was just like, obviously Dan Harmon and Justin are really into a weird religion tip this season. Ding 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 ding. We have a winner. I thought
you said his name.
Yeah, I was like, I watched that because I didn't watch for 2 weeks, so I watched Harley Quinn and then I watched those 2 episodes in a row, and I was just the Harley Quinn episode. Shout outs to that last one where they go to.
That was really good.
That was actually really good.
Yeah.
But this episode, the one you're talking about, was fun in the sense that they're constantly doing that thing where they're like making reference, like, hey, we're doing a Star Wars episode, and you're like, oh, okay. Like you watch it and you're just like, sure. I mean, it's a little weird that you're like, it's weird that you tell us the joke is that you're too lazy to write an original thing. You're just you have your original thing to the backdrop of something that already exists, and I was just like, that's weird, but sure. But the one before where the kids are like huffing. What was it there that Rick tells him at the end? He's just like, "Oh, you're essentially huffing
gas.
You're essentially huffing the gas from this alien ship," and then they end up accidentally killing God. And I'm like, and they just had another episode where they made fun of God, so I was just like, okay, you literally just did this though, like 2 days ago. So that was my own.
You hate God because you're failures. Okay.
Yeah. I was trying not to make it go in that direction.
I wasn't saying it. I was just gonna say, like, it's weird that this season's underlining joke is that they don't like. It's like a kind of poke at religion, and I was just like, that's fine. I mean, they've poked at religion before, so it's not new. Yeah. But that's the problem. Like, I want it to be new. I want new. I want new from them. The season, dude. Season 1 and 2, they made so many wonderful references to stuff. They didn't have to make them obvious, and they made them funny. This season, all they do is point out the references, which like I find not as funny, and then they don't stick the landing again. The Beth episode, you're right. One of the better episodes, and Beth does an amazing job. Like the voice actress doing both sides, and like this, Also, one last thing, play up Rick's suicidal angle. Give me.
I think that's cool. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, give me more of Rick. Like, remember that? Is it season 1 where Rick at one point gets so depressed that he's about to commit suicide? He sets everything up, and then he's too drunk and he passes out before the thing kills him. That's what I want. It's dark. I know it sounds dark, but if you're gonna do a show like that, do the jokes. Like, stick to the fact that this man is broken. He has nothing. He's not trying. He can be defeated. We saw in this episode he can get his ass whooped for every time that he's been able to fight gods. All of a sudden, actually, it's 2 episodes in a row that you see him get his ass whooped, and that's actually a big statement. And I like that. But also, I wonder if that's also a commentary on he isn't trying as hard to survive. Hell, I don't know. But really stick to this man wants to die.
Yeah, I know.
And one more thing.
Applesauce is delicious.
Actually, I wonder what do you know? Because I've never looked it up. What's the online sentiment about Rick and Morty right now?
The fans are still the fans. I haven't seen
or anyone you've spoken to in general that's a fan of the show.
The people that I know who like the show, they've enjoyed the season.
Yeah, I'll be honest. The people I've spoken to that like it have also said like, they find it weird when I say I'm not loving it. And I always ask, I explain why, because they're always just like, why don't you? And I explain all the reasons, like repetition and the referencing and stuff like that. And they're just like, that's why I love it. I'm just like, okay, well then.
Interesting, because if you're a major fan of a show, it can be hard to see why people don't like it, and you try to get them to accept it, and it makes it hard for you to also see it objectively as to why they potentially couldn't like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just wondering if it was just like a general divide on the fandom level.
Maybe more. I'd have to check.
No, I wouldn't know. You'd have like Brian said, you'd have to check. But I mean, I know Brian doesn't like it, obviously. I've enjoyed I will admit that this season is not as consistent as Brian said. Like in regards to like how episodes are funny. I think some episodes are a bit more just stories as opposed to being funny, which I don't mind.
Okay. Yeah. See, because I mind if you're comedy and you're not trying to be as comedic. So that's I don't know.
For me, it was just more that Rick and Morty they're doing so much that why not have a few episodes that you don't have to be like Family Guy and Simpsons have their serious episodes, but instead of having like a serious episode, they just have a story episode. That's what I feel like. But no, overall the season is to me, season 2 and 3 to me are the funniest. Those are the ones I like the most. But I love what's it called? The one where they make fun of the Avengers. I forget what Avengers. Oh, that episode is ridiculously good. But no, so I thought this episode was a pass. I also watched this thing called Ultimate Tag, which is clearly just the new American Gladiators, but playing tag.
Is this the one where they do the parkour?
Yeah, so what it is that there's several different games, and you start off with 3 people. You do 2 rounds, and at the end of the 2 rounds, whoever has the least amount of points leaves. Then the 2 last people face each other to try and get a time advantage in the last round. And then the last round is it's an independent challenge to each person. You're at a start and you need to get to the finish line, but the finish line is at the top of this kind of
oh no, this is different from what I was talking about.
Pyramid type thing that you have to scale.
Okay.
They have 2 groups, 3 guys, 3 girls. The usual first game is the guys are just running away from the tigers, and the tigers are hilarious. They have names exactly like the gladiators. Like you have Atomic Ant, Banshee, Rocket, Beach Boy, Horse, Caveman. It's all these ridiculous names.
And they're playing tag?
They're legit playing tag. So the first round is legit one tag. All 3 competitors are in, and they send out 1 tagger. That tagger has to grab one of they have little flares on their chest so that you can grab it, right? So they do that, and then once one gets captured, then another tagger goes in, gets the person, and when there's one last person left, they still send out a tagger, because if you make it past 2 minutes, you get an extra point, and every 30 seconds after 2 minutes, you get another point.
What network is this?
I believe I want to say it's NBC. or ABC.
In Canada, it's playing on CTV, but yeah, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, it could be CTV. I forget at the moment. But
Wednesdays at 9. Sorry.
But then they have some cool ones. Like there's one where it's just legit. All the taggers are on one side, and you have to try and run past them to hit a button, which is cool. There's one where it's a half dome suspended in the air.
What?
And the person's trying to get, and you can go inside the dome and out of the dome and like crawl underneath the dome.
Where did you hear about this show?
I saw it randomly as a commercial. I'm like, this has to be god awful, and it kind of is, but kind of isn't.
Yo, Dave on his bullshit. Dave, this is a
What?
Bell Media.
I will say this.
Bell Media.
The thing that's actually more entertaining
propaganda.
is the potential times people get concussions.
Oh shit!
Oh my god,
dude, there's so many fumbles on this show.
Wait, what?
The people.
How's this legal?
No, the thing is, when people are running around, they often like look back
How is this
to like see where the tagger guy is, right? But they're not looking where they're running.
Yeah,
So
rule number 1 in football.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's just these things that happen that you're like, it's ridiculous.
You know what?
Like,
you know what?
They must have signed a waiver. Like,
Yeah, of
you
course.
Can die
Yeah,
and we're
any of
okay.
that.
10 grand you had to sign a waiver.
God.
I just want to say, I hate that Dave described this, and it sounds like the stupidest thing, but I want to watch it. Like, I'm mad that I want to watch this.
I'm telling you, it's the
Because-
stupidest thing. You want to watch
Because
it.
you described
It's like,
something
look, I'm
that
assuming
sounds
that after 3
so ridiculous to me.
Dude, I've seen 2 episodes. The first episode's really impressive because there's 2 competitors that are pretty good at it. So you're like, oh, they're it's actual real competition. Second episode, not so much. But one thing I will say that's kind of a complete insult to the females doing the show. So far in the last 2 episodes, because usually you see the 2 teams of like guys and girls do it like simultaneously. Like the guys will go, then the girls will go, or the girls will go and the guys will go. But every time when there's the episode, when there's the thing that judges whether or not they have extra time at the end, they just skip the women and say, "Oh, this happened during the commercial break," and you're like,
"No, that's rude."
No, this isn't live. Like,
real quick, that's funny. Actually, that's a good point. It's not live. Why'd you guys cut to commercial? Real quick, it is it's Fox. It's Fox TV, not
network.
NBC. Yeah, Fox.
Makes sense.
yeah.
Yo,
But,
wait, does Fox own Tubi?
Maybe.
Hot damn, I think they do. Shit, now I can't watch Tubi. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Anyways, needless to say, I think it's hilarious. Some of the things that happen, and what I found funny is it's not funny, but I just like when I saw her, I was like, "You're an Amazon. You literally should be in Wonder Woman, not as Wonder Woman, but like as Wonder Woman's like sister." There's this girl called Iron Giantess. Although very physically like impressive, I guess to say. She's like super slow. I don't understand how she's in a tag show. And it's like she falls over things, and it's hilarious.
When you say physically fit, go ahead and add some more descriptions to that.
All muscular. That's all.
Is she like Arnold Musk, like a bodybuilder, or is she like
she's an
athletic
Amazon.
build?
She's legit an Amazon. Like you see a picture
Well, I guess
of her,
it's
was
just
like,
for the show then. If you feel like that's the case, but you know she agreed to do it.
It's just funny because there's like been
She
so
said
many
she'd show
times
up.
that, anyways, it's just
That is so
ridiculous.
funny.
She's the
I
only
think
one
for
of the
that-
taggers that seems like not comfortable.
I see. Okay. Probably will bring more viewers. That's all they care about anyway.
I mean,
right?
it's Fox. None of them can be comfortable with what they're doing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be comfortable being a tagger on that show. But if they paid me like $50,000 an episode,
yeah,
sure,
yeah,
you know?
exactly.
$50,000 an episode to tag niggas.
Sign me up.
Man.
Nah, they're probably not even getting that much. Probably getting like 10,
no way.
maybe.
Uh,
If that.
Because I thought you were talking about the World Championship like chase tag league that they have. If you guys
This
look,
is just ridiculous reality TV.
oh, okay. Because if you look it up on YouTube, you guys can find it. World Chase Tag. It's like these guys are parkourers who do tag competitions where you have like under a minute you have to catch someone, and they have teams and stuff. It's really crazy. So when you started talking about this, I was just like, oh shit, those guys got a TV deal. But no, Fox found a way to ruin it. Fox was just like, hey, look at this YouTube channel. It looks cool. Yeah, let's ruin it. Let's do something stupid.
Let's ruin it.
That's funny.
Put muscle people chasing after small children. No, they can't be kids. Sorry.
You can't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I didn't want to watch it, but
Epstein.
give me the scoop on Epstein.
Yeah, man, hit us because I didn't want to watch that either. You're
You
brave.
didn't want to watch it?
No,
I
don't care that much.
Yeah,
He's
over
he's
Epstein.
gone. It's not done. So I you know what? I'm gonna shut up. Go ahead.
I was gonna say they're never gonna reveal anything because he's dead. That's
well, like
And this doc is rubbing it in your face.
yeah, you go into like super details about the victims and whatever, and then it's only
man.
4 episodes, so it gets you to the point where you're into it, and you're like, oh yeah, I like hearing about all this crazy wild dirt because you also know like dude is super powerful, and then like it's also way more apparent now that he didn't kill himself.
I mean, we all knew he didn't kill.
Right, but like when they just show you the pictures and the girl is like, yeah, I hung out with this dude and I met Donald Trump when I was like 15 and Bill Clinton was there and this happened, and you're just like, yo, if Epstein had like 3 more days in being in that cell,
Yeah,
and if he actually opened his mouth, the American government would be just done,
shit.
gone.
Was Epstein the
The
bomb
amount
we
of people
needed?
that probably hooked up with these girls, it's like,
It was Epstein. Man, black people should have gone and gotten him out of jail and used him to topple the system.
dog,
If that's the case.
we got your boy. Here's your Trump card. Like, let
That's
it go.
crazy, man. That is crazy.
Yeah,
Honestly, he's just the first of many. So I'm sure there are a ton of people out there who hopefully we can catch before they just get to die with their secrets again. So that we can start like
I don't
revealing who
Dude, I'm sure they cleaned house.
after that.
Maybe. If
maybe.
I'm just,
But
not
you
that
know what?
Not,
When you
I
have
don't, I don't even want to paint this picture. But if I'm one of those guys and one of them gets caught and people now lead to the others, clean house. That's
what you have to do. Team
So
Pixel.
here's the thing.
yeah, exactly.
Gang lords do that.
Yeah.
Drug lords do that, right? Once someone or a part of your organization has been touched, you change up, you switch codes, you move elsewhere.
Yep.
Which is fine, but it still doesn't make you invincible.
No,
and
no.
it can last you. You probably just bought yourself some more time, but eventually it'll catch up to you again. Because
Yeah.
all these guys that are into these kinds of things, it just doesn't go away. It doesn't just go away just because someone got caught.
True.
They just
Right.
find a new way to do it, and that new way they'll be found out.
U.S.
It's that
attorney
simple, yeah.
made a deal with this dude behind closed. The U.S. attorney, right? He made a deal
Yeah.
with this guy behind closed doors. What do you say? Like U.S. attorney,
Crazy.
that's the attorney of attorneys, bro.
But didn't he go on
course.
like he already went on
The guy
record
go-
with something, right? Like, shouldn't that
What?
he would have gone
Who-
on
who,
record with
Epstein?
before he
I think he.
committed suicide.
Oh, like you mean like said something that would have given?
Yeah, he had to have some
that
kind of
would've,
deal
made
in
them
place.
Give him a deal.
Yeah.
Probably, and it's probably classified somewhere. But
cool.
before he could actually say it himself, he got taken.
That is crazy.
Which I'm not gonna say he doesn't deserve, but it would have been great to actually see it been followed through with.
Yeah. Let him
yeah,
spill, then cut him with a drill. You know what I mean?
Oh man, yeah, the world is full of sickos, man. Sickos.
That shit's wild.
And and a lot of them, yeah. When you realize just how deep the rabbit hole goes on these kinds of madness and who we are compared to those people, as far as society is concerned, it's a little discouraging to know that we're just far from blowing it all up.
It's like, okay, so essentially the entire society was built on racism and, excuse my French, little girls. That's messed up.
And little boys.
Yeah, I was
And
gonna say
little boys.
in Hollywood, isn't there some like Corey?
Yeah.
What's his name? Hart? No, which Corey is it?
Yeah, Corey Haim, I think.
One of the Coreys. I apologize. I'm not sure which one. But one of the Coreys has actively
Oh.
been trying to tell people for like 20 years. He's just like, yo, there is a trade of underage boys happening in Hollywood and none of y'all are listening to me. And then they discredit him.
Because they've made him sound like exactly.
Yeah.
right? That's what they do, man. Use the headlines, use tabloids, use media, everything to discredit you and make you look like a madman, which could probably further drive you crazy because now no one's listening to you. And
yeah. And I'd like to point out there's a good chance that the drugs and everything that you're saying he's on was due to the fact that he was abused as an underage boy when he was in Hollywood. So you guys
the other Corey committed suicide.
Yeah. You guys use these people. They get addicted to drugs because of the abuse and the things they've gone through. They try and numb themselves. Then when they try and speak out because they get through rehab, you guys turn around and say, well, you can't listen to them. They've been on drugs their whole life. Yes, they were on drugs because they were abused and they're trying to numb themselves to the pain they felt for years.
Yeah. You know what? Listen, you know how I coined it up to this way.
It is Corey Haim. Miriam's confirming. Sorry. No, Corey Haim
is the one that died. Feldman is the one that's
Yes, Feldman. Thank you. Okay, sorry, because she wrote Corey Haim's in caps, so I was like, oh, okay, that must be the one.
I chalk it up to this: all the young Hollywood actors that just finished their show and just plumb disappeared. You know what's up?
Yeah.
Oh.
Malcolm in the Middle dipped, right?
Yeah.
Where the fuck is JTT? Gone. I'm saying.
Jesus.
I don't know if I think I might have missed something before.
Well, you're just talking about the young.
They got out early because they know what's up.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
I could see that.
I believe that to be a reason why they decide to not be a part of it.
Like, yeah, I don't know about this. How about we just wrap up this contract with Home Improvement and I'm
a skedaddle. I'm gonna bounce out this one. Yeah, Malcolm in the Middle says that he has memory loss. And then it's like,
oh, did he have an accident?
Yeah, he had. I think I told this story already. He got into a car accident with the car that he drove in the Fast and Furious, the first movie.
Right.
And then he supposedly genuinely does not remember anything from filming Malcolm in the Middle. Like people have to tell him. Like when he watches the show, he's watching those episodes new. He does not remember filming them.
Yeah, I remember you telling that story. Yeah, that's. I hope that's true. Especially if anything horrific did happen to him. I hope he doesn't remember it anymore.
I'd forget too, bro.
Oh man, yeah.
God damn, man.
It's all the same thing. You realize though, right?
When you said like America is based on slavery and small children, it's like, oh my god, that's such a sad, dark, fucked up thing to think about.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least the states are.
I'm not going to pretend Canada is any better when it comes to the
we dirty too.
Yeah, the racism stuff.
Oh, it's a dirty, but they're a little extra.
The reason I say that the only reason they seem extra is because their population size. That's it. To me, that's the only reason. I don't think it's a factor. I think it's per capita. We're probably just as bad. I mean, if you replace black in Canada, if you add Native American and black in Canada, they're definitely as bad because the things they've done to the Native American, dude. The RC. When I read today that the RCMP was originally founded to essentially go in and separate the kids from their families in the Native communities and all the things that the RCMP originally was doing. I was just like, good Lord, that's why.
Why do you think the police and why do you think anything in the States was put into place? It wasn't to protect anyone else but the people that are controlling everything.
That was one of the saddest realizations I had when I was like thinking about all this stuff the other day. I was just like, oh, the police aren't there to protect and serve. They're there to just like I said it when I did the podcast on Sunday. I was like, we're the sheep and they're the herder dog, the dog, the shepherd dog. And you could tell the sheep the dog's not gonna bite you, but if you step out, the dog will bite you. It will force you back in. And that's what the police are. They're just there so that you stay in this perfect little area. But if you step out, they will smack the fuck out of you to get you back in line.
You do realize that protect and serve is a relatively new term, right? Before that was never associated with the police. It was the LA Police Department that created that slogan, I think, in a time of civil unrest to kind of rebrand themselves to protect and to serve, which other police forces adopted.
Yeah.
So go before that, and I think I'm doing a lot of these like researches now because I'm also a bit more vocal now than I have been before.
Yeah.
But just trying to understand like how that came into play, and protect and serve is relatively new. So it's just a mirage. It's a camouflage to cover their previous misdeeds.
Yeah.
Same.
Who was I talking with that was just like, Seek Knowledge, when he was talking about how the whole season of Watchmen was about wearing like people of color can't wear masks, and then he's just like, and then look at what happened, and then him and I had that episode before George Floyd, and the whole thing, like we had that we had that discussion the week before, and then that happened, and then him and I were just like, he like messaged me, he's just like, yo, we might need to jump back on and have another discussion. I was just like, fuck, Lord, I know.
Crazy.
It's wild.
What I do like that's going on now, Ferguson, just as an example, when that whole thing was happening,
yeah,
I saw people posting on social media and saying things, but none of it felt real. All of it felt fake to me.
yeah.
All of it. The outcry, all of it felt fake because none of us could really truly understand. And obviously, those of us with darker pigments, we feel it, but we still can't understand because we as much as we have our own things going on with us here in Canada, for example.
Yeah.
It's not the same as the Black Americans.
Oh no. Yeah.
It's 100% not, but it doesn't mean I can't feel their pain.
Yeah.
Now I would have felt like a fraud for speaking out at that time, considering I didn't believe anyone else that was posting, right?
Yeah.
But this time around, what I did notice is it's not just people reposting generic statements.
No, people are out here giving out that info.
There actually are people using their own voice, and you could see and feel the anger in it.
Yeah,
which makes me feel less tired.
Did you see John Boyega's post?
Quote unquote tired. Yeah.
Yo, John Boyega about to start a real resistance, Star Wars style. Like that dude's not playing.
Great, and this is a great jumping ground for us to make even the smallest change. I didn't believe the Fergus thing was going to make a change. I didn't.
No.
I believe this one will. In some way, shape, or form, there will be some change that will lead to something better.
Yeah. I'm hoping
in some way. I'm not saying how big or small, and I'm sure people are gonna be like, oh, it's never gonna change and that whole thing, but we have to have some hope left.
Well, that's it, right? So I like when I saw Renzel's thing talking about how he was doing his show, and then I was just like, you know what? Yeah, like I'd asked you guys yesterday, like, are we still doing the show? And then I was just like, you know, he's right. I want to go out. I want to do the show. I said to him, I don't want to keep sitting at home in this loop of having hope and then having the crushing fear that it's not actually going to change. But it's true. This is the first time where the posts have been vocal. People are speaking out. More people are talking about it. And like I said at the top of the show, even if the black squares had the reverse effect that they wanted to have, the fact that so many people were doing it because with the good intention, right? Like they meant it with good intention. It had an unfortunate side effect, but you can see, like I said, when I woke up that morning, it was like 6.4 million posts with the hashtag Black Lives Matter. By the time I checked, there was 17 million. So you added a whole 10 to 11 million more posts. That means 10 to 11 more million people posted more in one day with that hashtag, with the squares and other things. But so
there was like no doubt in anyone's mind for some reason on this video. Usually it's like, what did he do before? Yeah, right. Yeah. That's usually right. But you saw in that video, this guy is laid flat. On top of him, three people.
Yeah, it was 3 people, and I don't like the other 2 being as out.
And well, they were also, there's some charges being brought on them too, apparently. Yeah. But the main guy staying on his neck for 8-9 minutes. Yeah, unnecessary. Any human, I don't care where you're from, if you don't see that there's a problem there, then we have nothing to talk about.
Yeah. That's a big thing, right? A lot of people have been out there saying like it's not enough to just be to say I'm not racist. You got to be anti-racist now, and that shit is facts. If you are not anti-racist, this game ain't for you no more, homie. Because we're not.
Y'all. How many people have you guys taken out for your base?
Oh my god.
Because I'm not active on Facebook, so I haven't had to do any of that. So, but I know for sure. Matter of fact, speaking of Facebook, randomly today I was looking for a community group in my area because I just wanted to see like workers and stuff like that around. I stumbled upon this community for my neighborhood, about 10,000 people.
Oh damn!
Since the whole Blackout Tuesday thing, people have been like posting on that group. The admin and moderators have been deleting the BLM posts in the group.
Why?
Right? Exactly. So people are questioning, like, why? What are you doing? And you're leaving all these. So in that group in itself, I saw an exodus. White, brown, Asian, everyone just going, we're not going to stand for that, because that is the problem. And I'm actually like seeing it. To me, I was like, and they started their own group.
Oh, no.
More inclusive. Yeah. So now that group overnight, I think jumped by like 2,000 to 3,000 people.
That's good.
Right. Because now,
That's
but
good.
then people are like, well, should you leave the discussion? Because then now they have a hate group, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it's true that you shouldn't just abandon them in their hole of sorriness.
Yeah.
But at the same time, at what point do we take all those people, put them on a boat, and ship them off to Australia?
So I
right?
Yeah.
For lack of a better reference, I don't know if that doesn't offend anybody.
Well,
that's how angry I am.
That's a throwback to colonialism. That's the why you made the reference. You're not
exactly.
We're not
right.
We're
it's
not
the same.
Yeah,
it's the same. It's like
it's what they did before.
Mm-hmm.
I had a conversation with someone. I had a friend of mine post in her story. One of my friends doesn't believe in Black Lives Matter. Should I have a discussion with them, or should I cut them off? And then I wrote to them, homie, just to let you know, you should cut them off. At this point, you are a South Asian woman. You should just cut them off. And through the course of having this dialogue with her, she even explained to me that the person also has the mentality that the person's mentality on Black Lives Matter is just like, well, you know, if the people in the Black community didn't act a certain way, these things wouldn't happen. So I was just like, okay.
Oh, wow.
And then I said to her, I was just like, does this person also think that women in short skirts who get sexually assaulted deserve to be sexually assaulted? She's like, he's never said that. I'm like, because that's the exact same correlation.
Same thing.
Yep.
And she's just like, and I told her, I'm just like, and are you friends with this person? Have you ever been alone with this person? She's just like, yeah. And that's when I said to her, I was like, think about that. Think about the fact that this person is the type of person that thinks if you were out with them and you're in a short skirt and they leave you and someone does something to you, their mentality is, well, you dress that way. It's the same thing. And she's just like, oh, do you think I should be careful? I'm like, girl, stop talking to him. I was like,
it's so hard. It's so
I was like, I
to
feel
put
like
yourself in other people's shoes. I know it is. I know it's hard to put yourself in someone else's shoes and empathize, but how do you?
It's the only way
that?
people. Yeah, it's the only way people. Some people understand. It is. It really is. It's unfortunate, but it really is the only way. But you know what? One of the things that you're pointing out, and one of the things I think that is good, is the fact that there are so many people speaking up, because for once, I think people are starting to realize, like, that usual divide of just like, oh, they don't look like me. This isn't. I don't see myself in this. Mm-hmm. I think because everybody is saying this person could be us, and then all the allies are just like, yo, this is heavy. And then all the people who sit on the fence are just like, yo, okay. Like, it was one thing when the thing in Ferguson happened. It was another thing when it was a kid playing with a toy gun and, like, the cop didn't understand. It's another thing where these guys thought, oh, this guy might have been robbing somebody. None of those are excusable, by the way, because you
should. This is 9 minutes, though.
Say what?
This is 9 minutes on somebody's neck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the main point. You spent, like, no matter what, if you're a police officer, you are not the executioner. You do not have the right to decide whether this person lives or dies. Even if this person had done something, you still don't have the right to put your knee on their neck for 9 minutes.
Once they're handcuffed, they're legit your responsibility, and they're not supposed.
There's no harm.
If they're in your custody, they are not supposed to get any harm to them because they're in your custody.
Yes.
Simple.
Yeah.
And I don't care how much they're resisting arrest. Call more officers to hold them down.
Homie.
The thing is, he wasn't on top of that. And
not even just that. I spoke to some nurses, and one of my friends who's a nurse posted saying, like, if you think about it, I've seen it. It's facts. Mm-hmm. We've worked at the hospital and had violent patients twice our size try and fight us, and none of us have ever had to kill anybody in an attempt to control them and stop them. I've seen it. I've seen nurses half my size, 3-4 of them, with the 2 security guards pinning down a dude bigger than me, high on a drug that makes him more aggressive. And they figure out how to pin this dude down, strap him to the gurney so that he stops attacking them. and you're telling me these 4 cops who are the same size as this dude, if not bigger, had to hold him down with their fucking knee? Come on.
Shows an institutional issue. That's what they were trained to do, and they did it and executed it to perfection. Keyword on execution. Executed.
Yep.
Because even if you were trained to hold a person down with your knee on like an upper body part, the fact that the other, like, even if he was doing it right, which he was, let's make it clear, it's wrong, but let's say he was doing whatever that was right. The fact that you had 2 other people and how they were kneeling on him, even if air got in his lungs, he wouldn't have been able to expand.
Yeah.
His lungs would not have been able to do what they would have needed to do.
Well, which is why they're accessory to murder now, too.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous. And I really don't like it because it's like, why aren't these guys faced? Like, I think one guy's white, one guy's Asian.
But that's what Tobi's saying. They've been charged.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. It's about the level of power given to such a corrupt system that this is how you choose to handle it based on your perception. It's a system based on perception, not facts.
Yeah.
Fact is, he forged $20 and tried to pay with it. Fact, store owner called and said, "Hey, I need you guys to just come and arrest this guy."
But did they know he forged it? That's the other thing.
Whatever, he's paying with a fake bill. That's the story that's out there.
I know. I heard it was a check, and then
sorry. Yeah, you're right. I used the wrong word. I don't know, and I don't think it's out there that he made the bill. He probably just had it. Maybe someone gave it to him and he didn't know. I don't know what the right.
You know what I mean?
Regardless,
yeah,
the crime should fit the punishment. Whether you're a cop, whether you're a regular civilian, it should just fit the punishment. So those cops, what they did, if that was me and you on someone and Dave was on his neck, that person's neck, we would get charged with murder, wouldn't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's that simple. That's all we're asking for.
I know.
That's all
that
anyone's
was the
asking
crazy
for.
part. It's just like what
it doesn't even go deeper than that.
Yeah.
Common human sense.
It was a blatant murder in broad daylight in front of everyone. What's the question?
What's the question here? What's the investigation you need to
And
do
what I
here?
mean
What
is
people-
that there's places like CNN, who now is officially to me like fake news. They're like, oh, people are divided on the issue. Who's divided on what happened?
I don't.
No.
I mean, I'm not blaming CNN for reporting that people are divided, because there are people who are divided in the States. There are people who are divided. There are white supremacists, and there are groups that are saying like, you're all looters. You're acting out of anger, and none of you are honoring this man's memory. We wouldn't have to honor this dude's memory if y'all hadn't killed him. Get the fuck out of here.
How do you know how he wants his memory to be honored?
I know, eh? Yeah. What if he's sitting there right now being like, "That's right, burn it all."
Yeah.
Like,
how do you know anything? Matter of fact, you don't know. Matter of fact, there are people doing things the right way. There are people doing it the way they feel like doing it. There are people doing it whatever you perceive as the wrong way.
Yeah.
But somewhere in between, there are people doing it the way it's supposed to be done. All of that together is just to make a point saying, if this didn't happen, this wouldn't happen. So take away this first part, you won't get the second part.
Yeah. Anyways, right? We got to move on, guys.
I don't know why we got back into it, but yeah. Hot topic.
Geek News and Rumors. Here on Geek
I'm laughing like, how do you switch gears? Yeah, that song, that little intro itself is like so off kilter, you know.
There was no smooth way to do it, so I was just like, well, here's a jarring adjustment to your mental state, folks.
Doc's like, I'm just gonna press this button.
He's like, I need it over.
It's like on Button when they play that song that they always play. It's just like, oh, here's a song to make you smile.
It was almost like someone's having a birthday alone and they recorded someone singing happy birthday.
That's exactly. It was so somber, but it was like, maybe this is needed right now. Oh man, what's on the top of our list, man?
Well, we already talked about the first thing. The second thing we have, Evan Peters playing a mystery role in WandaVision. Evan Peters is the guy who played Quicksilver in the X-Verse. No,
well, he can't. Exactly. So is this an alternate reality that Wanda creates?
Yeah. First of all,
he's a Quicksilver in that.
Quicksilver is not dead if Wanda doesn't want him to be. Remember her power set, guys. She's brought people.
Yeah. This is how the X-Men come in.
I would like to think so, but they're saying mystery role, so I don't know if it's.
Come on. If he comes in a different role than the original role he plays, I'm not gonna watch the rest of WandaVision.
What do you mean? He's gonna be Quicksilver. He's gonna be Mephisto disguised as Quicksilver. Done.
Oh, there you go. That's a good one.
Damn.
That's a good call.
Who else could fuck?
But hold on. Do you think they're gonna suspend disbelief that? Because obviously he doesn't look like the brother she knows.
Yeah. No. Exactly.
Right. So how do you think? Like for you, what's your theory on how he comes to be if he is in fact Quicksilver?
I agree with you. I think this is how you bring in the X-verse. You bring him in as Quicksilver from an alternate. Like you realize, well, because okay. First things first, let's look at the MCU. The next phase of the MCU is going to have multi-dimensional stuff. We know that. Mm-hmm. We know that her show touches on Doctor Strange's movie. They've already said that.
Yep.
So if you want
and her powers in terms of altering reality.
So if she pulls her brother from another reality, and it ends up being that actor playing, and then they start to merge the X-verse, I'm not mad at it.
I would not be mad at it at all.
I'm not mad.
I think that's a genius way to do it, actually.
Because we did always think Strange might have some kind of multiverse bringing in the X-Men thing. This is why not the brother that she lost who's a mutant? Why would you not do that? Can I ask,
so Wanda though is reality altering. She can leave it permanently if she wants, but at the end of the day, it's technically not real.
Well, I mean,
right? Or sorry, let me clarify. Is it that she puts a mirage over the real world, or is it that the real world becomes what she makes it?
Yeah, dude, she reconstructs House of X.
So yeah, come on.
House of X. She completely restructured the entire world. Even didn't she redo the universe because didn't the Shi'ar the Shi'ar were affected?
She answered everyone's wish. So their wish went if it went further out than just Earth, then the answer to that is yes.
Yeah, because even the Shi'ar were affected.
Yo, so how in the world is she not? Were they just waiting this long to show her full powers? Like she hasn't learned it yet, or something? Do you think that's what it was?
That's kind of how it is in the comic books. Yeah, like she doesn't go OP until she freaks out when.
Yeah, because that Thanos fight was like, okay.
In the comic book, it is so great because in the comic book, she is essentially just a joke for the most part. It's like. Yeah. It's kind of like she has a cutesy version of Domino's power where she like kind of alters like, oh no, something's coming at me. Flip the hand and it like whoop, changes. And then they started to realize like, oh no, her power set is an actual altering of like the universe. Yeah. Like Domino is luck. Like she has whatever that luck thing is that it works to her advantage in the universe, which is Domino supposedly is on a small scale a reality altering character because she's altering.
So here's the thing though with Domino, I think she has to be aware that thing is happening.
Yes, I would say so.
Right?
Yes, like if you're shooting at her, mind you, no, because people have shot at her and she's not looking and it hasn't.
She's walked backwards off of buildings, not knowing at all.
Yeah,
okay,
that's true.
What's the point of? So she immortal?
No.
Minus the fact that she ages.
No, yeah, no, she's not immortal.
Because she can. She's faced moments where even luck could not.
Yeah.
Fix this.
Yeah.
Interesting. I never really read on Domino, by the way, so I'm asking. This is one of the few characters I never actually.
The biggest wild card in regards to her powers I've ever seen.
Okay.
Yeah, it's true.
Not really making sense to me. It's just like, she has luck. We'll make her lucky when we want to.
But I just remember that when Scarlet Witch early on used to be compared to her often, and I remember that, and I remember thinking like, that's weird. Why are they always comparing her? And now I understand. It's just like, oh well, they were just doing that because it kind of seemed like it was like Scarlet Witch's power was somewhat similar in the sense of like, oh, she's just flipping her hand and these red sparky things adjust things to her to her benefit. No, she was altering the fucking
did really
universe.
well.
What?
Everything?
Yes, definitely.
Feige, hire me.
but it is actually the portrayal of the female characters. As hard as that is to do, they've done a pretty good job at making them feel even to the male characters.
Yeah.
In some way, shape, or form, sometimes even superior.
Yeah.
I also like the fact that the outfits are not like crazy scandalous.
Oh yeah.
Right? It's like it makes sense for them to be wearing skin tight combat apparel. Wanda is not wearing a crazy bikini, whatever it is she has on in the comic books. You know what I mean? Funny. So just those little things I appreciate about the thought. Where, yes, exactly what Skinny.
The one thing I still complain about though is it does not make sense that these people wear heels. Every time.
Oh, okay. Well,
like when Wonder Woman is wearing heels in the trailer, and when Black Widow.
Wonder Woman wearing a bikini. Why does she still need
that? Yeah.
Anyway.
I think one of my favorite versions of her suit was like the early 2000s, the one with the black leather jacket when the eagle's like silver. It's still like the corset with the silver, but she has the badass jacket over it. That was pretty dope.
The one I like is the alternate universe Wonder Woman. Do you remember that? Justice League.
The crime
Syndicate?
No.
Huh? Not Crime Syndicate.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh. Why am I forgetting it right now? It's like a dark blue, full-on, like tactical wear almost.
Oh, okay. I don't remember it.
I'll pull it up and send it to you guys. I forget what storyline it's from now. But anyway, all that to say, I like the way they write their female characters. Obviously, could be better in a lot of areas. But.
Yeah.
What else? Wanda's gonna want to bring back everybody that she lost. She's gonna bring back Vision. She's gonna bring back Quicksilver.
Sorry, Skinny. Just a heads up, you're cut off at the above your nose because
it's all good. Above my nose, really.
Oh, yeah, it was a little tight. Yeah.
Essentially, she's just gonna bring back people from alternate universes. That's gonna cause reality itself to fold in on each other. Hence, where Doctor Strange comes in, and the being that keeps pushing her to do so and to do what she wants is gonna be in the form of Quicksilver, Evan Peters, but it's either going to be fucking Nightmare or it's going to be Mephisto. Movie done.
Interesting.
But why do you think? Why do you think? But where does that villain fit in a grand scheme of things?
Strange.
Like
the crossover with Strange.
I guess.
Yeah, that would make sense.
But is Wanda not going to be in Strange's next movie?
I'm sure she's going to be in his movie. They
keep saying in Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, I'm sure she's gonna be in it.
No, she is. She's like co-starring in it. They said that.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I was pretty sure they said she was gonna be in it. I just didn't realize she was gonna be the second lead or whatever. But
again, a good way of making a connection. I'm not mad at that storyline.
Yeah, it's 100%. Like Wanda, you need to stop doing this. Why? I have everything I want. Well, reality is totally. Yeah, no, you can't do that.
Where does like Falcon and all these other stories. I'm asking you like you're the one writing the damn thing, but to me, I feel like they connect everything, right? So there has to be a thread.
It's not going to be so much a thread. It's more. Oh wait, it could be a thread because whatever happens, I feel. I don't know. To be honest, I really don't know.
But I put you on the spot. It's not something you can probably think about right now.
And I know that they're going with a kind of Thunderbolts alignment that way, but then we also have to see what happens at the end of Black Widow with Thunderbolt Ross and all that shit. Because if what the rumors are saying are true, then there's a lot of things going on. Like Thunderbolt Ross is working on Red Hulk stuff, and you see him with a tube of red stuff, and then there's rumors of Taskmaster and Yelena working for him. And then U.S. Agent apparently is also working for Thunderbolt Ross because he's the one who technically administers the whole second super soldier thing. So it's there's a bunch.
U.S. Agent didn't start out as a nice guy.
Yeah.
Right.
And him and Captain America fought, a couple times?
Yeah. A couple times.
Yeah.
And then they joined forces and then he becomes.
So we'll see. I don't know.
He starts to respect him. What else do we have on the docket? Josh Boone still has hopes to complete his New Mutants trilogy.
How about getting your damn movie in theaters or something?
Just put it out on Hulu.
Stupidest thing I've heard this episode.
Dude, just not even Hulu. Just put it out on Premiere Video on Demand. Let Amazon, whatever deal was signed, because that's the thing, right? The deal is that they are gonna be. The deal is that they're gonna be. The movie has to go out on Warner Brothers or something first because some weird licensing that they did before. I don't know. I just know that
whatever is wrong with this movie is wrong with this movie.
Yeah. Dude, you're not gonna get a trilogy. There's too much insanity behind it. It's been like this year is the year that the second part would have come out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
that's how long it's been.
Your movie, because then they finish in 2017.
In regular, because in regular other trilogies, it would be done now. Like the one coming out now would be the last one.
Yo, listen, World War Z better have a sequel before this movie does.
But they're working on it. No, isn't that part of the joke that
they were? And the first movie itself had a ton of production issues.
Oh shit!
Cost $200 million in the end because of all the budget issues.
God damn.
Still made it to theaters. Still made $500 million in theaters.
Impressive.
Finally got greenlit for a sequel. Had some big name writers, directors associated with it, and then because of I'm sure because they're afraid due to all the issues in the first one. So why do you think your movie hasn't come out yet,
are gonna get a trilogy
with all these production and release issues? Is gonna get a second or a third. Like I appreciate your faith, home. I appreciate it.
The fact that he's hoping for a
I'm
third.
With you. I'm with. Hey man, listen. I'm always with anyone who has that much faith in the things they love. I just hope you set your expectations right, buddy. That's all. Real low. I have no faith your first one was supposed to like the light of day, you know? So it's crazy. HBO Max's Green Lantern will be the next step up from the Arrowverse. Really?
Yeah.
I'm clicking the Business Insider article though, because you gave the superhero hype, and they're citing a different article, and I'm like, did you read that one? Because that's the thing. What is it? We're closing deals.
It wasn't citing another one. Oh wait, sorry, it is. I didn't realize
it's right there in the first.
I was trying to find it earlier, but I read it
week.
while we were opening the show, so I was adding it as I was going.
Okay, so I've read this article. This article is just him giving like, these are all the things I want to do with HBO Max. So he's like peppering hints at cool shit so that people will sign on. The platform's already out and people are excited. I don't think he needs to do all this extra. You know, no one. No,
but they're also saying that like they're putting a lot more into the production value of their shows though, which is going to be kind of interesting
because they have Warner Media money now.
It's apparent in Stargirl.
Well, that's it. Because imagine if Stargirl up their game and then they're going to try and do better than Stargirl. It should be really good.
Can they do better? So far, 2 episodes in, solid.
Oh, Stargirl's cinematography and cinematics are pretty spot on so far.
It's pretty dope. Far better second episode than Black Lightning. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. The third one's pretty good as well.
Third one's good too.
Poor Black Lightning.
Yeah, dope. I haven't watched that.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I gotta find. I don't think my partner wants to watch it with me, so I have to find some time when she's not watching TV, and I can
watch Stargirl on your own.
Because she doesn't want to watch it. Because she doesn't like it. She's just like, wait, you guys like this one, guys? I do better.
Is that what she said? Oh man, how dare you judge us? Listen,
it was just because she when she was watching it, she's just like, okay, this seems a little too obvious. This seems a little too much MTV. She's not wrong with the things she's saying. It's just that because we're comparing it to the other CW shows, for us it's just like like
that's the key difference.
Yeah, her favorite CW show, for example, is Legends.
One Tree Hill. Okay.
No, Legends.
I was just throwing a jab at her because she made fun of us.
Wow.
Actually, I think she might be too young.
She'll throw it right back at me in a second.
Yeah. She might be too young to have watched One Tree Hill, if I'm not mistaken.
Legends of Tomorrow?
Yeah, she said that's her favorite one. And the only reason it's her favorite is because they don't take themselves seriously. Like, they're not trying to be a serious show. And I was just like, that's fair.
They understand where they fit.
Yes.
Versus
that's
the other
what
ones are tryhards. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Stargirl is just simply, I'm sure if I were to compare that to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, yeah, Agents is back, by the way. Just a heads up to anybody.
What's that?
Agents is back. The last final season. Yeah.
I would definitely take Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. first 2 versus Stargirl, just based on content.
Okay.
Ignore the effects.
Yeah.
For a second, right? Just based on the content and the the gravity around the situation for sure, hands down. But obviously, comparing it to other CW shows and DC shows, it's up there with Titans.
Yeah. Guys, that's pretty much it. That's everything. That's the whole kit and caboodle. Hopefully, all of you who've joined us got to enjoy and relax and take a breath with us. It was supposed to be a full respite, but obviously, we still have feelings, so we were gonna have to talk about it a little bit. But it wasn't the full episode, and I hope that we didn't make this a little stressful for you. And if anything,
I didn't even get to clown half the people I wanted to. It's all good.
Yeah, that's it, right? Like, there was more. There's definitely more we could say, but we're not going to. We want to thank you guys for being here with us today, because not everyone is out doing shows. A lot of people were taking some time off, and I think that, I understand that. And even when I posted recently on Instagram, asking the people with 10K followers if they could post about some of this stuff, because they have a larger reach. And I understand if some people aren't on social media or aren't paying attention because things aren't the easiest, and that's fair. But we're hoping that our show was a nice, like, side of the road break on this long highway ride that you're taking, where you got to just grab, when you go into the, what are they called in Ontario, Toby? The side of the road, those things on. There's like a name for them. En route. Yeah, that's it. En route. So we do the music for them. That's why I was trying to remember. So hopefully this was a pleasant en route for you, where you got off and you went inside, and for some reason there's a Taco Bell and a Chuck E. Cheese.
It's an eclectic
like, it doesn't even make sense. Sometimes when you walk into these places, it's like, why are these 5 restaurants put in this one place? Who designed this?
I go to the same one every time because that's the only one I know, which is Tim Hortons. The other ones I'm like,
yeah, exactly. But yes, we hope that our eclectic conversation was a weird en route where you felt confused but still had fun. That's it, guys. That's the whole show.
All right, I get the analogy.
If you guys anything you guys want to tell the people?
Stay safe.
Yeah, stay safe, stay informed.
Yeah.
Just love, man. Just love.
Peace and love.
Love is good.
That's it, guys. Black Lives Matter. That's it. Peaceful.
Peace.